Hello, how you doing? My name is Nidra Simmons, and I am coming to you today on a Friday just to have a basic conversation. And I have a question I want to pose to people. And if you feel free to want to answer, I would appreciate a comment. You can also check me out here on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. TikTok is Nidra333. Instagram, it is totally over it here on Facebook, or you can go on YouTube, where you can find me under Woman of God, Nidra Simmons. Um, but back to what I was saying. I want to talk about how people, grown people, can put other grown people in a box and expects that person to stay in the box. First of all, who gives you that right to put somebody in a box? And secondly, do you really expect them to stay in the box because you put them there? Are you God? Who do you think you are that you can take somebody and put them in a box and just tell them to do what you say because you say so? Now, I understand that when you work for a company, unless you have your own, you're going to have to follow rules and regulations. But if you have individuals that are educated and know their job responsibilities, just because you have a title doesn't give you the right to put that person in a box. So, the first question is, do you think you can put someone in a box? And the other question is, do you think they should stay there or do you expect them to stay there? All right, those are the two questions that I want to pose, but I want to go into the conversation. Now, hmm, now I got to say this correctly. Um, I've been in many job positions, and I've been under people in job positions. Either way, I've been respectful, and I try to do the best that I can, the best of my ability, and I try to help others. And when I say, why do people get to put people in a box? When you have a position of management, I believe that when you get into a company and you do a job, you should train the person under you to take over your job so you can prepare yourself to be promoted in your job so that there's constant growth inside of the workplace. I don't believe that you should get to the top by stepping on somebody else's head. This is just a conversation. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. If you feel guilty, that's on you. I am not pointing any fingers at anybody. I am just having a conversation and I'm asking a question to see if you guys can give me an answer back. I know that I'm originally not from North Carolina, I'm from Connecticut. I moved down to North Carolina, and since I've been down here in North Carolina, I've seen that things are totally different. Even down to the churches. When I went to church in Connecticut, I served a God that was a God of everything. The same God that's yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and forevermore is the same God I serve here today. But it's not the same when you go to certain churches. They don't serve the God the same way you've been serving God. But you know what? That goes down to each individual. It goes down to each individual relationship that you have with God. So I'm not knocking anybody. If you have a relationship with God, continue the relationship with God. Um, if He gives you eyes to see, see with it. If He gives you ears to hear, hear with it. If He gives you a mouth to speak, speak when He says so, not when you want to. But like I said, this is just a general conversation about being put in a box by other people when you can be, I mean, when it's not needed. I can understand that you're, if a new person coming into a new place, then you have other people here trying to teach you and show you the ways. But if you constantly tell them what to do and not let them express what they know off of what it is that you're trying to do, you're putting them in a box. How are they supposed to grow and show you what they're capable of? How can they be a blessing for your company if you don't let them shine? I'm not saying give them a platform and give them a mic and say, here, roll with it. No, I'm saying if you're training them something to do on the job, um, a good manager will come back and see that they're doing what it is that you told them to do. And also, a good manager is going to see if there's any growth that's being done inside, within that person, within that job. So instead of putting somebody in a box, if you know what your coworkers or other people that you are around are capable of, as far as doing a good thing to promote and help people, or even go to where they can teach your children, and you see a growth or a change in that child. If you're a parent, and I'm balling everything up, so let me separate it a little bit. If you're a parent and you had a teacher that taught your child something that was different from the other teachers there, don't be afraid to let management know that you are proud of what this particular teacher has done, because you don't know what is going on behind the scenes. You don't know if they're not, if the good job of that teacher is not being promoted because of any personal reason with somebody else. If you had a personal experience with a teacher that was good, or with a coworker, or with going into another place of business, and that you see that this person has gone above and beyond or has done something special in your eyes, go and give that management um, your word of thought, your experience that you shared with that particular person at that job, because you have people that want to keep growing and teach others and help others, and they can't get no further than where they are, because there are people that don't want to see them get there. I said a mouthful, so I hope all that made sense. So I'm going to go back. I think if you are a person that had an experience with a person, where it be in a workplace or a school or a child care facility or supermarket, wherever you go, if you went somewhere and somebody in that place of business made you or your family member feel special, take the time to go to the management or the board or whoever it is, and let them know how good that particular person was to you or to your family. And I'm saying all that to say, you have people that are in a business that want to grow, want to share their talents with others, want to be able to make a difference, and they can't, because they're placed in a box. This could be a box at a church, this could be a box at a workplace, this can be a box on the street. You can have a couple walking by you, and then one of the members of the couple can be like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" And that smile could just make you be like, "Wow, I'm fine, how you doing?" But the other person may shrug on them and say, "Don't do that." They're blocking you from expressing what you have that can help others. So it still goes back to the box. I don't want to lose the gist of this whole conversation. I just want you to be able to help others just like others want to help you. And if you notice that someone is doing a great job in a place of business, and you're able to let their manager know, or let somebody above them, that manager, know how well your service was, then go ahead and do that, so that the person that is in that position that was nice to you or helped you can grow, because the top might not know what's going on at the bottom or even in the middle. So I hope I said something that was encouraging. I hope I said something that was relatable. And stop putting people in a box. We have so much gifted and talented people out here in this world that have so much to offer, but you're blocking them because you're putting them down in a particular small box, not letting them shine. Or you may know how good they are and you refuse to let them shine. I have never been in a town where people do not want to help people. And let me rephrase that. There's some people that help. So don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for all those that help. But coming from Connecticut to North Carolina, where I came, Connecticut, I came from where everybody worked to help one another. Everybody wanted everybody to grow, move forward, at least in the companies that I worked with. And then to come to another place where you work with a bunch of women that may not want to see you grow. They want to just see you stay where you are. Please be happy for other people, because the more happy you are for other people, the more you'll be blessed in the end. You should always want to see people succeed. I always want to see people succeed, even my enemies. I pray that God no longer make them my enemies and that they learn to give their life to God so that they can do the will that God has set for them. So let's not put people in a box. Let's learn to appreciate everybody. And let's learn to want to encourage. Stay blessed. I hope I didn't offend anybody. This was just a conversation. I didn't pinpoint or point out any particular persons. I just gave examples that were general. So, thank you. Have a blessed day. Until next time.